some information that's just come to hand, so she'd just like to let you quickly know about that. And then...
Hi, I'm Dr. Marianne Gafurian. I'm here tonight because some information has come in to me today that I think you may all be very interested in. Now, a couple of days ago, I received an email which I think came through Ken's newsletter chain, and talking about Ian Henke being jailed. Now, if you know Ian Henke has been jailed. He's been jailed in Queensland, in Brisbane, and he has 4.5 years jail, 1 year before parole, and the reason he's being jailed has been put up in the Courier Mail on the 30th of March. Now, this is the charge. The charge is that a Supreme Court trial in Brisbane last month, Ian Sidney Henke, 74, of Hastings, Victoria, and 2 other men, David Houston and Brian Fox, were found guilty of conspiring to defraud the Commonwealth between 1999 and 2001. They were alleged that they were part of a plan to devise, promote or implement a dishonest scheme to strip companies of their assets so they were unable to pay taxes. It was alleged a total of 15 companies took part in the scheme with accounts and holdings on the Pacific nation of Vanuatu. Now, I won't go into all the details because there is a lot of details, and I just printed them off tonight to bring them to you. And also a note appeared in the Australian Government Taxation Office news as well on the 30th of March, saying 3 men today were sentenced to over 11 years combined jail time for their involvement in tax fraud worth 4.5 million. Ian Henke, etc., were promoters of asset stripping, and through the use of intricate arrangements. Australia will not stand for these types of illegal scheme arrangements, the Tax Commissioner said. This finding shows scheme promoters that regardless of the type of scheme they use, it will be exposed and justice will be served. Those who participate and promote these schemes burden the majority of Australian taxpayers who do the right thing. Tax funds vital to the community and government programs relies upon. If you are participating in illegal schemes, using overseas tax secrecy jurisdictions, it's only a matter of time before we find you. So that's what the Taxation Office says. Now, what happened to bring about this in reality? Because this is what we read in the media, okay? Ian Henke wins the 2004 court case regarding the illegitimacy of the Australian government. A court case against the Australian government has been won in England, which proves the whole system is illegal. Now, how is this possible? There have been a group of Australians that have been pursuing this case for well over a decade or more, perhaps 15 years. Private people, in fact, have put their funds together to try to bring to justice the whole of the Australian people, to understand what it is about our government that feels wrong. And these people have gone with their own funds off their own bats to do this. And this is what Ian has been doing for many, many years. Now, what happened? They eventually took it into England. They even had Geoffrey Robinson on the case, Queen's Counsel. They pooled their money, and I think they paid about $80,000 for 1 day of Geoffrey Robinson's time. Now, this is what was handed down. The Master's decision of the British High Court in London last week has been delayed, has been handed down by the end of next month, according to Ian Henke, in April 2004, to bring to an end the abnormalities of the Australian Constitution and legal system. Ian believed at that time the likely outcome is for the case to be referred to the full court consisting of Lord Justices and the British High Courts, etc. It means that the Australian government will have to finish what Australian Prime Minister Billy Hughes started in 1919, a great opportunity to rid ourselves of all the political manipulation of the taxation systems, the courts, and put in place a structure that is run by the people and not as it is now run by political parties and their antics and their mates. There should be no disruption. The only people to be inconvenienced will be politicians and bureaucrats. Common law will continue to be enforced and observed by all decent people who for so long have seen the tradition of the fair go slip out of their hands. So this is what's happened. And now Ian is in jail, and I've been in contact with his wife today, and she has written to me tonight, just tonight. By the way, I've known Ian and Fran, his wife, for 25 years. I think what the best idea would be, if anyone is interested, to follow this through, because the very important thing to get out of this is Ian Henke is basically a political prisoner on behalf of all the people of Australia. He's 75 years of age this year in July. He has a heart condition. He's in jail. His pension has been suspended because now why? I guess because now he's a guest of the Australian government in jail. He's keeping up his spirits. His wife suffered poliomyelitis as a child. She is also partially incapacitated. They do rely on each other for support and love. And she's written a letter now to the government virtually begging that he be released. I won't go into this anymore. I think that you've had a beautiful night tonight with this amazing information that I just came in at the last minute to really begin to listen to.
Will you present this at the next law reform meeting, which is the last Tuesday, but it's going to be at least the Tuesday this month?
What I would do, Ken, is I would invite Frances Henke to come, Ian's wife. She is a journalist. She was, I believe, the speechwriter for Jeff Kennett, actually, in the days of the Kennett government, and she's a very able speaker in her own right. All right, well, give me the details later and I'll speak to her. But I did promise her that I would come tonight and at least begin to open the discussion about Ian Henke. He is still alive. He is still well. He's been working on all of our behalf for many years. His house was raided during the period that he was doing research. His computers were taken. They were followed by people in vehicles. And, you know, he's really suffered quite a lot. And, of course, health deteriorates when you are pursued and you are hounded and you are dogged over a long time. When you are trying to research things which is just under the radar of virtually everybody else except oneself, who's trying to find the thread to truth and grab onto it and then make it so articulate and so real that you can then show it to other people. And that's what he's been doing. My husband said, don't come out tonight, but here I am. And what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is perhaps express your interest either to Ken or write your name down at the end of the room there with Josephine. And what we'll do is we should perhaps begin a community getting together of some intelligence around the subjects that have been pursued. Thank you, everybody, for your time.